So looking at some research that's been carried out into the amount that people use their technology and smartphones and that kind of thing on holiday, and some really startling figures, first of all, in terms of the number of people that the first thing they do when they go on holiday is check in on their phone.
That's right, yeah. And mostly on social media, funnily enough. So it's not a case that they're, texting home to say if they've arrived. But 35% of people, the first thing that they do when they get on holiday is check in on social media, presumably to tell everybody, this is where I am.
I mean, actually, I say startling, but in the modern era, is it actually, for someone in the industry, is it that much of a surprise?
I suppose that figure isn't that much of a surprise. The one that surprised us the most was actually the other figure, the percentage of people that would pick their phone to take on holiday before their friend or their partner. And that came in at 38%. So that did surprise us, I must admit.
Is it the same kind of figures that you're seeing kind of across the board in terms of age categories, or is it, as you would probably expect, more younger people that are doing this, or is it across the board?
Actually, it's the reverse. Younger people
Really?
are doing it least. The guilty group, if you will, is 35 to maybe 55. They're the ones that are using technology the most when they're on holiday.
With that in mind,
so millennials are actually the lowest.
Do you think it's because the millennials, as you say, it's the reverse? Maybe they're making a point of leaving the phone in the bag or even leaving the phone at home to actually make that point of I don't need it on holiday?
I think so. I think it's more because they probably use it. Or I don't have information to back this up. In a way, it's mostly anecdotal, but I think they use it more at home than the older generation, and therefore when they go away, they think, well, you know what, I'm away. Not that they don't use it. Obviously, they do, but they don't use it as much. As the older generation. So yes, to some extent, it's that I'm on holiday.
As somebody that works in the holiday industry, how would you actually kind of encourage people to put the phone down and maybe embrace their holiday a bit more?
It's more a case, I think, of discipline. We're all guilty of this, of saying, I'll just check my emails, or I'll just do this, or I'll just do that. But what we're trying to focus on in Jules Verne is for people to, yes, use your phone, but, if there's a group of you and you're all going out, well, nominate one person to take the pictures. You can all share them these days anyway. And the rest of the group can just go out and enjoy it and then alternate, different days, give different people the responsibility. Even if there's only two of you, at least one day, one of you is technology free.
Do you think the danger is that the fact that smartphones in particular have become so multi-use now? They've got the brilliant camera, they've got the ability to be a video camera. You can connect to the internet if you need to, obviously. Do you think those reasons are one of the reasons that we can't put them down on holiday?
Absolutely. We become too dependent to them because they do everything. Really, there's very little that you can't do these days on your phone or tablet. However, the whole purpose of going away on a holiday, whether it's a cultural trip like the ones that we do, or whether it's to go and lie on a beach, the whole purpose is to try to break away from what you do on a day-to-day. And we believe that if you just stuck on technology while you're away, you won't feel the benefit of the holiday when you come home.
You mentioned cultural trips there. Of course, on phones now you can get your maps and your directions and all of that kind of thing if you're sightseeing. Would you therefore be encouraging people to actually be more traditional and pick up an actual map?
I would even suggest to people to get lost. I think
it probably makes it more fun, doesn't it?
It does. And to be honest, I've just been to Marrakesh with my wife. We were there just for a weekend, and I was amazed how many people in the souk were trying to find their way through one of the map apps, through the souk. And I just felt like saying, just get lost. You'll only be lost an hour. You'll find your way and you'll experience a totally different experience of it. If you're just going by whatever is on, on one of the review sites, then all you're going to see is what everybody else sees. If you really want to experience somewhere different, then you have to go off track.
I can absolutely vouch for that because I've been incredibly lost in the middle of Hanoi in Vietnam and was kind of equally terrified and excited in equal measure. So it's definitely a good tip. Is there anything else in particular you wanted to cover, Francis?
It's mostly, I suppose, when you're away, especially like if you're on a group, and as much for older customers, if you will, as for younger travellers, the key message that we want to get across is don't spend your time looking behind a screen. You will miss the most valuable aspect of your travel.